So yeah, I'm Tammy Goen, and I'm a holistic life coach, focusing mostly with highly sensitive people. So I just wanted to share that a little bit today to help others understand what sensitivity is. What is high sensitivity? So it's all about processing. So highly sensitives process information really deeply. I like to say that it's like having a giant sponge that we take everything in, but our filters are fewer or less effective. So we really process everything really, really deeply. It's all really important. What it is a genetic trait, so it is inherited. It's basically the way I talk about it is usually that's the way we're wired. So if you think about being left-handed or right-handed, you're highly sensitive or you're not highly sensitive. And it's about 20% of the population, and 80% of the population, of course, is then not highly sensitive or not as sensitive. And that's kind of the way the world is framed. So it can be challenging for us, but it is just a genetic trait that we can learn about and learn how to incorporate tools for and how to approach life so that it's not just this overwhelming challenge. There are introverts and extroverts and a lot of other things that I won't spend the time on today because we're limited, but I just wanted to make sure that folks realize that it is genetic. It's not something that's a choice. But if we have those tools that we need, as I mentioned, for calming the nervous system, if we understand how to share with people, if we understand that this is just the way we're wired, there's nothing wrong with us, we can actually be a benefit to society if we can manage all of this information and be able to share it with the world in the right way, because it can really be our superpower. So some of the reasons that is the case is because we are kind of like the canary in the coal mine. We are the ones that walk into a room and go, there's something off here, or there's something needed, or we're talking with a person and we just know that they need a little extra something. So that can be a real benefit, not only in personal relationships, but in a business setting. We tend to look at things from all different sides. So in the business setting, again, that's kind of like, well, what have you tried this, or what about this, or looking at things from all different angles is part of it. So that can be a real benefit. One of the things that I would never ever give up as a highly sensitive is my connection with nature, which tends to be increased, higher resonance with highly sensitives. And then the fact that because we see things that others don't, or we really process these things deeply and notice all of the details, life is just really, really rich because there's so much out there, and we take it all in and really notice things. I often hear, I'll be like, oh my gosh, isn't this amazing? Look at whatever. And somebody's like, I didn't even see that. How did you notice that? So that's a piece that is really, really strong for me, and that I would never give up, because it just adds so much to my life. I just wanted to mention, in terms of how to support someone that you think might be highly sensitive, or if you think that this is you, then you can know how to reach out and try to gain support. So acknowledging the differences there, and just recognize that, oh, okay, if this person's wired differently, what might they need, to have a thriving environment? And sometimes that's different than others. Like being in an open office situation is very challenging for highly sensitives, because we're taking in all of that information, and it's hard to focus when we've got so much going on. So minimizing that chaos or that noise and allowing for personal space, things like that. But really the validation is super important, to just let people know that, oh yeah, okay, you're this way, I'm this way, both are fine. There's no problem here. It's just learning how to work with these differences like any other differences.